Assalamu alaikum. What's the best time to work out during the day if you're fasting for Ramadan, or even if you're fasting to prepare for Ramadan? Well, inshallah, today I'm going to answer that question and cover actually the 5 different times that you can work out during Ramadan and the pros and cons of each one, so you can decide which one works best for you. Because the thing is, no two people are the same. We all have different priorities, schedules, responsibilities, genetics, lifestyle preferences. So there are so many things that just depend on the individual, right? Like the same time that works out for me might not work out for you if your schedule is different from mine. And likewise, the same thing that works for you might not work for me if my genetics are different from yours and my body responds a bit different. So I'm going to go through all of them today so you can test all of them out before Ramadan, which is in just under 2 months, inshallah. Maybe on some of your Sunnah fasts, if you want to fast on Mondays and Thursdays, there's huge benefits. There's a lot of barakah in the next 2 months. So Rajab and Sha'ban, a lot of good benefits. Google them. You know, there's a lot of sheikhs who have written really good articles on the different rewards that you're going to get. There's hadiths. There's a lot of stuff that you can read. So inshallah, let's dive in. The first time of day that you can work out during Ramadan, which is actually my preference, is right after iftar, okay? Now, for some people, that's not realistic, because maybe you're spending some family time, maybe you have kids. A lot of my clients have kids to where they can't do this. Now, I don't have kids yet, inshallah, but make dua for me that I get married and have kids soon, inshallah. And but yeah, you know, because I don't have kids, I have the luxury, so to speak, of being able to work out between Maghrib and Isha, okay? And that's the time that I generally prefer to work out in the first 20 days of Ramadan. The last 10 nights of Ramadan, I switch it up though, because I want to be able to really prioritize Ibadah at night, right? But again, I have some clients who that's not practical for, but the benefits to doing it right after you break your fast is, number one, you can break your fast with a couple dates and a protein shake, pray Maghrib, and then from there, hit a quick workout, and then from there, pray Isha, and then have your dinner. The benefit is it helps you to control your appetite so you don't end up overeating, which you could also just have the discipline to not overeat, but it's a nice little hack to make it easier to not overeat because, number one, you kind of fill up a little bit and give your body time to process that initial just dates and protein shake, and whatever supplements you want to add to that as well if you want, if you take supplements. Not that supplements are required, because 99% of it's nutrition, 1% is the supplements, which is cherry on top of nutrition, except for people who have like micronutrient deficiencies. Those are the people who actually might need to supplement certain micronutrients. So get a blood test if you haven't already, right? But anyways, so it helps you with that, helps you just get the workout out of the way. You know, you're still in a semi-fasted state, so you're gonna burn a lot of fat. I mean, again, that doesn't matter as much as just generally being in a calorie deficit if you're trying to lose weight, like the timing of everything. But the timing can help you with your energy, your performance, how you feel, your appetite, which we talk about in other videos on the channel, so make sure to check out those videos on like nutrient timing. But I wanna make this Ramadan specific and I wanna stay on topic here. So again, from there, then you pray Isha, right? And then you can have your meal, and by then you're not going to overeat because your appetite's already satisfied, and even if you do overeat, you just worked out, so your muscles are more insulin sensitive, so your body can use that better. And that's why that's the most optimal time to work out, if that works with your schedule. Obviously, some people who have kids may not be able to make that happen, or whatever logistics, right? What I like to do too is I'll go and I'll pray at the masjid for Maghrib. That way I can just break my fast with a date and protein shake, really easy to take to the masjid, pray. There's a bunch of gyms close to my masjid, so I'll just go to the gym, boom, hit it real quick, pray Isha at the masjid, come back, eat, shower, boom, and I can go to Taraweeh after that, right? So super, super simple, super, super easy, works really, really well, and that is my preference, which works well for me. But again, maybe, you know, you don't have gyms near you, or, you know, whatever other reason may come up for you, you might have to do something different. So let's talk about the second most optimal time to work out during Ramadan. So the second most optimal time would be after Taraweeh. So the positives of that is, number one, your body has plenty of time to process and digest the nutrients that you ate, and that gives you plenty of fuel for your workout to perform well. The downside, though, is it can give you insomnia, because if you go work out that late at night, whether it's after Isha or after Taraweeh, it gets pretty late. And especially if you like taking pre-workout, you like having some caffeine before your workout, your sleep's going to be absolutely wrecked. So if you work like a 9 to 5 and you don't have flexibility with your work schedule, if you're a business owner, your work is project based, obviously you can like schedule things around and kind of like sleep in a little bit during Ramadan if you want, or kind of, you know, front load your work right after Fajr, get everything done by like 12 p.m., take a nap after Dhuhr, sleep, catch up on the sleep that you missed at night, and then ultimately wake up, pray Asr, go for a walk, break your fast, boom. That's a routine that works really well, and that's what I actually do in the last 10 nights of Ramadan, is actually work out after Taraweeh, and I just kind of become semi-nocturnal, right? So again, that can work really well for some people, but for a lot of people it doesn't work well, because again, if you work a 9 to 5, your sleep's going to be wrecked, and sleep is very important for fitness, fat loss, general health, general mood, focus, energy, performance. And the last thing you want to do is crash your energy levels during Ramadan and find yourself in a place where you don't have the energy to do all the extra acts of ibadah to capitalize on the times 70 reward multiplier that happens during Ramadan, right? And also, you don't want to like be so tired that you can't perform at work, and then your work takes forever to get done, your performance drops at work, you start getting really miserable, you go in a downward spiral, it takes forever, and now you have even less time too because your work's taking you longer. You never want to sacrifice your energy levels, so definitely make sure you're getting enough sleep. During the last 10 nights of Ramadan, you might have to just get by on less sleep, but even then try to get sleep and take naps throughout the day, right? Even if you're praying all night, okay? Your body does have rights over you though, and that's in the hadith, so at the same time, make sure that you're not destroying your health, right? It's another big thing, and that's why my mission is to transform the culture of health in our Muslim ummah. If you look at my other videos, that's what we're all about. Okay, back to the topic on hand. So let's talk again about what are the other times you can work out. Another time that a lot of people like to work out, which can actually work even better in your schedule than the other two I just mentioned, is working out right before you break the fast. This can work really, really well schedule-wise for a lot of people because most people aren't really doing anything around 5 p.m., which depending on what part of the world you live in, what time of year it is, you could be watching this video 5 years from now and Maghrib could be at 4 p.m. where you're at, or you could be watching this and you're in Malaysia right now and Maghrib's at like 10 p.m. or you're in Australia or something, and I don't know what time Maghrib is out there, but people live in all kinds of crazy zones. You could be in Alaska and or the UK in the winter or in the summer or whatever, and Fajr could be at like 2 a.m. I don't know, there's a lot of crazy time zones out there. But the point is, usually, if you're not napping at the end of the fast and you're not tired at the end of the fast and you actually have energy, then you could work out right before you break the fast. And I have some clients who genetically, mashallah, Allah has blessed them with the genetics to have amazing energy levels when they fast, and they love working out during this time. You're burning a lot of fat, their performance and energy is good. However, the problem is if you don't have good genetics for that particular thing, you might have good genetics in other areas, like alhamdulillah, I think I'm genetically blessed in some ways, but one of the areas where I'm not necessarily genetically blessed is I have really bad energy levels when I fast. Now, obviously, I've been doing, I've been lifting, and I've been lifting for like 13 years. I've been a fitness professional at a very high level in the industry for the last 6 years, alhamdulillah. So I've done a lot of experimentation on myself and all my clients, and I've figured out how to optimize your energy levels during a fast, how to minimize your hunger levels during a fast, and definitely check out my other videos on this. But that doesn't change the fact that my energy levels, no matter how perfectly optimal I am, are not as good as if I was eating, my usual nutrition plan to optimize my energy levels outside of Ramadan, right? Versus, again, I have some clients who they follow my meal plans and their energy levels are actually better when they fast, and their performance in the gym is even better when they fast. So that's the best time for them to work out, is right before they break the fast. So that's you, right? And your energy levels are amazing when you fast, and your performance in the gym is good when you fast, then definitely work out at the end of the fast. But for me, I'm dehydrated, I'm carb depleted, my body just performs terribly at the end of the fast, so my workouts suck and it ends up being a net negative for me. So that's why I prefer to work out right after I break the fast, right? So I get the benefits of being in a semi-fasted state, but I still have some carbs, some protein, some hydration inside of me, which then gives me the ability to perform at the level I need to perform to have the quality of workouts I need to have, right? But if you can still have quality workouts at the end of your fast, do that. Now, for some people, their schedule doesn't allow it. Like I have one client who's got kids and he likes to really go to Taraweeh and like make the most of Ramadan the whole month. And he also likes to nap at the end of his fast after work, and he's really tired at the end of his fast, so that doesn't work for him, right? Versus, again, I have other clients who absolutely love working out right before the end of the fast. I have one guy who lost 55 pounds, mashallah, went from being like a chubby guy to having a six-pack after losing 55 pounds, mashallah, and he loves working out fasted. He even fasts outside of Ramadan, not even just on Mondays and Thursdays, but like he just loves fasting, and it works well for him, and mashallah, Allah has blessed him with those genetics, versus for a lot of us, that's not the case. But that's okay. Allahumma barak, right? Allah has blessed us all in different ways, and we have to focus on the blessings we have and not focus on the areas where we're not blessed, because, shaitan's the one who's trying to get us to think negative all the time, versus if we have faith in Allah, tawakkul Allah, it always keeps us positive. Wondrous is the affair of a believer. He praises Allah when he goes through good times, and he still praises Allah even when he goes through bad times. That is me paraphrasing a hadith. I don't have the direct quote, but you can search it up. Just search up wondrous is the affair of the believer. You can search up hadith on positivity optimism. I have other videos on this too where I actually quote the hadith properly. So again, check that out, inshallah. Maybe I'll have my editor superimpose that on top of this video. Okay, cool. So that's the third time that you can work out. So what about the other two times? I said there's 5. Yes. Okay. So the time that I least like working out, but that's the time that the client who I mentioned, who has kids, who like to really make the most of Taraweeh, all that stuff, the time that he needs to work out, is he actually works out right after suhoor. Okay, so advantages of this, number one, it works really well schedule-wise, because outside of Ramadan, I always advocate for working out right after Fajr, and 80% of my clients, that works best for them outside of Ramadan. But during Ramadan, the big downside, and also the upside, is that you're fueled up, you're hydrated, you feel good. But the huge downside is you're going to be dehydrated and hungry for the rest of the day, because you tend to get hungry after a workout, you tend to sweat during a workout, and you tend to obviously feel hungry and thirsty, so that's going to be difficult during a fast. It's going to make your fast harder. If you like that because you like building discipline, mashallah, right? But for me, that's just not really sustainable, and for most people, it's not sustainable for 30 days, right? And the thing is, like, for this particular client, I'm just gonna have them working out 3 days a week. And for most people, I have them work out 3 days a week during Ramadan. For myself, I've done some Ramadans where I work out 3 days. I've done some where I work out 4. I've done some where I work out 5. I'm actually working out 5 days a week, inshallah, during Ramadan, Monday through Friday, just warrior mode, or maybe Sunday through Thursday. But again, you know, it's all subject to change. But with this client, I'm gonna have him working out 3 days a week, just focusing on strength, taking long rest periods, not going super hard, just like, you know, lifting decently heavy to maintain his muscle and his fitness and his health, but not going so hard that he's sweating and getting dehydrated, because I don't want him to have a difficult fast and have that impair him at work and all these other things that are obviously priorities for him, because he runs his own business as well, mashallah. So again, and for anybody, I don't want you to have bad performance at work, whether you're an employee or an entrepreneur, right? So again, that's how I'm gonna set him up, so that since that's the only time that works logistically for him, we're minimizing the downside by only working out 3 days a week and by not working out crazy hard. And actually, most of my clients, I only have them working out 3 days a week during Ramadan, versus some people like doing 4 or 5. I even have a guy who likes doing 6. I also have guys who like working out 5, 6 times a week outside of Ramadan, who only work out 3 times a week during Ramadan, because it's hard, right? And I get it, but the key is to be consistent. And that is kind of the main theme of this video before I go into the 5th time that works well, is whatever is most scientifically optimal does matter to some extent, but what matters even more than that is what allows you to be consistent, what works with your schedule. This is something I always talk about, right? So again, super important. Now the 5th time to work out, you might be like, Munir, what about middle of the day? I guess middle of the day wasn't one of the 5 I was thinking of, but I guess you theoretically could. There's actually a really amazing inspirational Muslim brother who used to live a couple doors down from me. His name is Ramzi Hassan. You can search him up on YouTube. Lightweight champion of the world in boxing back in the 90s. This guy, mashallah, he's 50, he's shredded, he's driven, he's got the edge, even though he's 50 and has 3 kids, mashallah. You know, he's been, you know, married for a long time, mashallah, and he still has the edge. And mashallah, that inspires me. He's a powerful Muslim man. He's 50, you know, he's a beast, right? So crazy thing with him is I used to see him actually going for a run in the middle of the fast during Ramadan. He was like sweating, going crazy. And so I'd walk by his garage and he'd be running on the treadmill, just sweating, just pouring sweat. It was the middle of the summer. It was a couple of years ago. And I was like, you're working out in the middle of the fast, or aren't you fasting? And he's like, yeah, but it's too easy, so I have to make it harder. And I was like, whoa, that's like inspiration right there. That's a real man. So again, you could do that if you want to just build discipline. But again, like I said, working out and feeling dehydrated and hungry for the rest of the fast isn't really sustainable for me, and it kind of negatively impacts my quality of life in other areas. But if you're able to do it without it negatively impacting your quality of life, it'll actually help you, because it'll build mental discipline, and mental discipline always helps you in every area of life, as long as it doesn't come at too much of a consequence to your other, you know, faculties like your hunger, your energy, all that stuff. So really important to account for these things when it comes to fitness is hunger and energy. No matter how hard you can go, how much discipline you can build, you don't want to be hungry all the time and have poor energy levels, because then it creates a net negative where even if you're building discipline, you have less physical energy. But if you're able to get by with it, you don't get hungry and thirsty, or you're able to manage it, doesn't kill your energy levels, then yeah, you could actually try that. That could be a 6th time to work out, because it's going to build a lot of discipline and turn you into a beast. But for 99% of people, I wouldn't advocate that. That's for the 1% like Ramzi Hassan, who are already beasts at the highest level. But we should all aspire to be there. Maybe by the time I'm 50, I'll be there. Maybe by the time I'm even like 30, inshallah. I'm 28, by the way. And by the way, all my clients are in their 30s and 40s, so just because I'm 28 doesn't mean I can't teach you how to do all this stuff. Don't look at who I am. Look at the results of my clients, and look who I am, right? I'm a Muslim brother. Alhamdulillah, I'm in good shape even though I run a business. That's a lot of credibility, but I don't have kids. And yeah, I'm in my 20s, so it's easier than if I was in my 40s and had kids. But guess what? A lot of my clients are in their 40s, have kids, you know, run businesses as well, and they're crushing it. And so the fact that I'm able to get them those results, that's all the authority you need. Check out some of the testimonials on my website. Some of the interviews, all that stuff. We got brothers like Naveed Musa, 47, owns 5 businesses, has 2 kids, mashallah, crushing it. We got guys who have 4 kids, 3 kids, work 60 hours a week, 80 hours a week, even 100 hours a week. We got guys who are, you know, 30, 35, 48, even had a guy who was 72, had a sister who's 63, mashallah. This lady lost 30 pounds in 9 months. So again, just wanted to say that because sometimes it bothers me in the comments. It's annoying when people are like, oh, you're 28, therefore you don't know how to get a 48-year-old results. Like, dude, look at all the 48-year-olds who I did get results for, right? So if you're 40, there you go. Or if you're 50, I don't care. No matter what age you are, I've studied this stuff extensively and have a ton of experience. Okay, so what is the 5th time? Munir, stop talking about your clients, stop talking about yourself. Tell me what's the 5th time. The 5th time is pretty psycho, but it does work well, like from a scientifically optimal perspective. It's right before suhoor, okay? The advantage is you're fueled up, you're hydrated, you get to eat right after, and you know, obviously it's beneficial and it does scientifically work really well, but the downside is that you have to wake up really early, and for most people that's not sustainable. Again, that could also fall in the discipline category. And if you like the idea of building discipline by working out during the fast, but you know it's not gonna be sustainable for you, maybe the super early morning wake up could be a way for you to build that discipline without having to get hungry and thirsty all day, but still build that discipline of waking up early. So it's really easy for you to wake up for tahajjud, everything else during Ramadan and after Ramadan. And I obviously advocate for you to prepare for Ramadan, learn how to pray tahajjud, learn how to pray tahajjud before Ramadan, and wake up early every day. I advocate for all this stuff. So again, check out my other video where I talk about how to get into working out before Ramadan. I've got a beginner's one, and inshallah I'll be shooting an advanced one too if it isn't already up, right? To teach you how to prepare for Ramadan if you're advanced as somebody who works out, or if you're a beginner, I already have a video on that, inshallah. So check it out, check out my other Ramadan series, check out my other videos, subscribe to the channel. I'll also attach a link to my Instagram below if you want to connect with me on Instagram. Alhamdulillah, we just hit 70K over the weekend, alhamdulillah, on Instagram. And I post like 2 videos a day typically, motivational stuff, short 60-second, 90-second clips and tips, right? So check it out, connect with me there. And if you're interested in my 90-day Ramadan prep / Ramadan / post-Ramadan program, right? We have 90-day and 6-month programs actually. And right now we have a special 90-day Ramadan program and 6-month Ramadan program that prepares you for Ramadan, works with you during Ramadan, and helps you transition off of Ramadan while losing fat, gaining muscle, whatever else your goals may be, having more energy, performing better, being a better Muslim, everything else we do inside of our fitness and lifestyle coaching program. So for more details on that, I'll attach that below as well in the description, inshallah. Check out those links, share this video with a friend, and inshallah, Ramadan Kareem, if you're watching this in Ramadan, and Allahumma baligna Ramadan, if you're watching this before Ramadan, may Allah help us all make it to Ramadan, have a successful Ramadan, and make me a means by which you're able to have an even better Ramadan, and that we all earn sadaqah jariyah and tons of barakah in Ramadan. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum.